Welcome, friends. Welcome, friends. How are you? I am fantastic and doing really well. Today, we are doing another live stream. There is no one here. That is fine. I will stream on my own. What am I wearing today? What am I wearing today? I am wearing today, I will show you. I will show you. I'll show you, motherfuckers. It's this. It is this. Hello, Jared Wilson, Fragrance Collector Vintage. Christina, Louis Anthony Reyes. Am I dreaming, says Christina. Maybe you are. How scary it would be to have me in your dreams. There's definitely something wrong with YouTube because I'm using a different phone to stream today, and the picture's fucked. So it's not the phones that I'm using. How is the audio? Is the audio okay? Audio okay? There we go. Hello, fragrant friends. Hello, Dushan. The new blur shit, Rich. I've heard that from quite a few people. I've only smelled it on card and I wasn't impressed. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me, that, if I'm being honest. Let's go. Thanks, Dushan. I'm trying the Comme des Garçons monocle line. Hinogi, Sugi, Laurel, and Yo-Yogi. This is a green woody perfection. Incredible stuff. I haven't tried any of those. I have not tried any of those spaced out. That is a shame. I would like to. Welcome, Often Licked. Rabbit, how you doing? Any Patu? No. Maybe some Koros, though, in the future. Just not yet. I need to do my video, which I think I'm going to do. In the autumn. I'm going to compare the different vintages. Often Licked says, I got my first Mask Milano yesterday. Reflection. Hemingway is their vetiver. Yes. It's true. Hemingway is their vetiver. How do you know these things? I am delighted by this. Oh, I've got an itchy face. Rich, did you sell Body Koros? No, I didn't. I was actually just looking at it yesterday. I haven't put it up for sale. So that would explain why I haven't sold it, really. Often Licked says too much time on my hands, evidently. I thought you were on a no-buy. What's gone on there? What has happened there? Time on your hands. Spaced Out says, I tried Naomi Good, sir. Iris Sandra. And it reminded me of, guess what? Stinkbug, sadly. Hope I don't ruin it for anyone. No, I still love it. I don't know what stink bug is. I'm starting to enjoy Le Poisson even more. Bush, says Dallas. Scent of the day, Ambre Supreme. I was just thinking today I haven't worn a Les Indomitable for a while. But then I went with Hemingway instead. I was feeling vetivery. If anybody would like to share the link to this stream in the Discord, I would appreciate it greatly, as I am streaming on the other phone today. What is up, guys, says Juan Herrera. Been testing out the Maison Crivelli Discovery set. Today is Santal Volcanique. Spaced Out says, Rich, you are lucky if you never smelt the stink bug. They're all over here where I live. Excellent. I'm glad. You may keep them. They're all yours, my friend. Thank you, Christina. That is very kind. I appreciate it greatly. Excuse me. Scent of the day is Geranium Pour Monsieur, says Anthony Reyes. Good stuff. Louis Anthony Reyes, I beg your pardon. I think you said at some point that the only mask you liked was Russian tea, even though it has some amber wood in it. But that's changed. Yes. I think I sold my Russian tea, actually, because the sprayer stopped working. I might still have it somewhere, but I think I got rid, because, yeah, it was fucked. It was fucked. Fuckedest. Welcome, Ace of Souls. What is up with you? I sampled Hemingway, and it's great fragrance, says Pat Lester, but it reminds me a lot of a Scala in Haiti. Intriguing. It's more expensive as well. Scent of the day is Creed's Tabarot Millésime, says Ace of Souls. Dushan says Scent of the night, Van Cleef & Arpels Gem. I was looking today, and do you know what I haven't worn this spring? Summer? Tsar. I remember the Lex Ellis review of Tsar. Tsar. Great fragrance. Dallas says it's 26 degrees today. Autumn is almost here. Woof. Too hot that. Far too hot, my friends. Yikes. Hello, Duck and everyone. Welcome, Alicia. That cap is weird, says Christina. Yes. That cap is weird. Apologies to Pep. I didn't know he was going to stream. Happy Friday, Bob. I hope you are feeling very well, and congrats on the Milano. Thank you, Bob. Happy Friday to you as well. I do like this one, I must admit. This is a very good vetiver, but it's also obscenely expensive. It's very, very expensive, stinkly pricey, wildly pricey. Oh, but it's very, very nice. It's very nice. There's a little bit of smokiness in there, but mostly it's bright green, fresh, complex, rotund, verdant. Galen is here, flying the flag for Britain. We don't claim him. Welcome, Germs. Yes, weird cap, says Alicia. It is weird. It's rubbery. Yeah, it is. It's rubbery. Don't forget about Santal Messiah. Yeah, I haven't worn Santal Messiah very much this summer either. Hello, Heretic. Don't worry, we will not burn you at the stake, Heretic. Your heresy is safe with us. Scent of the day, Rose de Jamal. Fantastic rose. Certainly is. Why does Rich hate Pep so much? Well. He's from Australia. Not Australia. Rich loves Pep, actually. Rich has watched Pep for a very long time. Pep had less than 1,000 subscribers when I subscribed to him. Might have been even less. Fragrance rotation coming in 2 weeks, right, Rich? It's not even 2 weeks, mate. I think it's a week on Monday. So, how many days is it till the 1st? I think it's a week on Monday, yeah? No. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't got my glasses on. I can't see the calendar. Welcome, Germs. Like the stream? Yes, like the stream, please, friends. And if you feel like super chatting, please don't let me stop you. You can find these Mas Milanos on discounters often. I would get it at... would I? Yes. Maybe. I think I would. Yes, that's right. Please alert me. That's right. Jared says, Delise, I can't wait to change too. Ace of Souls says, try to purchase Creed Viking. Receive Creed Viking cologne instead. Ah, the pain. I wonder what percent of people who purchase Viking cologne are actually trying to buy Viking. Ugh. Savagery. I hope you sent it back. Often like says, the caps are painted wood as far as I know. Nah, rubbery that, mate. With a plastic insert? Nah. I'm not having that. That's wood, like that's rubbery, that, mate. It feels rubbery. Sticking with my original answer. Hello, Paroli. Hello-ly. Galen, where is your channel? Says Alicia. Yes, Galen, where is your channel? Hi, Tool. My favourite month is May. Actually, I prefer spring over everything, says Spaced Out. Very rare that you hear somebody say that for fragrances, but I think spring is underrated. It's not raining at all. I thought it was raining. It is not. What is this madness? Welcome, Tool. Galen says it should be there. Put a link to Galen's channel in the chat, Galen. It's dessert time, says Dushan. I bought Viking cologne after Percival's recommended. Oh, no. Can you charge him? Oh, no. The savagery. The viscountness. How mean. I don't think I can send it back because it was advertised as Viking cologne and I didn't notice. It was a tester. Well, if it was advertised and you made the mistake, no, you may have fucked it there, I'm afraid. I hope you enjoy it. Juan Herrera says Iris Malacan was okay. Bois da Chai was nice. Reminded me of a sweeter Tom Ford Oud Wood. Smelled the new Tom Ford Oud Voyageur. I don't hate it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I hate the price. I fucking hate the price. Good grief, the price is outrageous. Why is Galen's channel? That is another good question. Rich, do you get the similarity between Koros and ADP Essenza? Can you tell me where it feels like I'm wearing a fresh, seriously non-animalic Koros? The modern Koros, maybe. Maybe. That's an outrageous statement. I'm surprised. The modern Koros, yes. The vintage one, no. There's definitely something similar, though. Good spot. Well done, MM. Persley's absolutely hated Viking cologne. He eviscerated it, says Often Licked. I haven't watched Persley's for a long time. Yes, Tool, Persley's reaction was priceless. Hated it with a passion. The anger. Scent of the day is MFK A Pom Hom. Says Paroli. No clubbing for tonight. It's bad weather, says Dushan. Rich, what Tom Fords do you want? Oh, God. Loads. I should do a Tom Ford family portrait. That would not be a bad idea at all. Loads, though. Grey Vetiver, EDP. Beau de Jour, the signature. Not the signature. The private blend. Oh. Why? Why can't I remember? I used to own Tom Ford for men, but I sold it. I just thought it was a little bit too much like Costume National Homme. Tuscan Leather. Tobacco Oud's one of my favourite fragrances. Amber Absolute. Noir de Noir. Vert en Son, which is fucking glorious. It really is a fabulous fragrance, that. I've got a few others as well. I'm sure I've got some others, but I just can't remember what they are. I sold a few bottles this week. Some of my listings on eBay got took down, and ironically, these listings had been up for ages, right? And then they all got, like, there was about 7 of them got taken down. And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, they've been taken down. So it moved us to contact a couple of people, ended up selling about 5 of them. They'd been on eBay for months. So I ended up actually selling them when they got taken down off eBay. Fucking hilarious. Hello, Alan Hansen. How are you? Is Viking still good in recent formulations? Pass. Cool Tiggin. How are you? Welcome, Heretic. Is current Viking still worth buying? Don't know. I've got 2017 bottle and I really like it. I think it's very good. Strange piss-coloured juice though, but not to worry. Doesn't go with the red, really. It's got that modern Creed thing where it feels very hollow musk. Big hollow musk, big white musks, big hollow white musks. It's very nice, this though. It's got Aventus Absolute smells a bit like it. I think there's something about it that smells like Aventus Absolute, and I think it's that musky undertone, you know. White musk, glaring white musk, blinding white. But I don't know if the modern one's worth buying. Scent of the day, Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir EDT Extreme. That is a name. That is certainly a name. Dushan says the first iteration of Viking is nice. It's the one I've got. I smelled the new formulation of MFK Masculine Pluriel and they're the same to me, says Dallas. Dushan, you need rest, says Alicia. Ace of Souls says, Peroni the new Viking had much less spiciness than my decant of an older batch. I still wanted it after getting an itch for the scent though. Dushan really likes the gem he is wearing. Dubadabka, welcome. Vert dans son, yes, is Carl. I love Oud Wood, says Spaced Out. I wish I had a gold label bottle though. Sad all the classics got watered down now. Yeah, it's on its arse, like. Rich, do you believe I would like the new Tom Ford Oud Voyageur? Yeah, probably. I would have thought so. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I wouldn't spend the money that they're asking for it. But if you're into ouds and you like the smell, like say if it was a classic masculine fougere from the 80s. And it had loads of oak moss in, and it was smoky and leather and lavender and fucking like all the great stuff that I like. I'd buy it, but that's the type of scent I like. You like ouds. I think you'd like it based on it seems actually quite nice, if I'm being honest. What's wrong with that Costume National Homme? There's nothing wrong with Costume National Homme. I prefer it over Tom Ford for Men. That's why I sold Tom Ford for Men. Turning lemons into lemonade. Good stuff, says Often Lit. Yes, that's right. Actually managed to bag myself hundreds of pounds. So, sold a couple of bottles of Silver Stem Dior, one of which hadn't actually been taken down. Sold gift set that I'd got. It was a vintage Lauder for Men gift set. And I sold a tester of silver stem. And what's the other one? Oh, the Tom Ford. No, the Thierry Mugler pure wood. I've got backups of the rest, which is why I didn't. Whatchamacallit, I didn't review them. I will listen to Madabla Vet of a Cologne yesterday. The thing is 2 weeks is too well. The thing is it's actually very cheap. It's like 120 quid for 100 mil. So I was getting 4 hours out of it, which I was really impressed with. The thing is you've got to carry it around with you if you're out and about. But I wouldn't call it weak. Cologne Imperial is weak. Cologne Imperial is weak by Guerlain. But it's fantastic while it smells. I mean, the smell of it's absolutely sensational. So yeah, we have my Tom Ford Sahara Noir, says Alan. Dushan says, Christina, where is my buddy Goran? I imagine he is at work. I also had listings took down this week. Maybe they're just on the warpath, like, you know. Evening all, says Masso. Goutal Ambra Fetiche, current formulation, as I can't find the older one, giving the excellent Vanillium a rest, says Masso. So you're wearing the Ambra Fetiche as your scent of the day. The vintage one's incredible. It's got a leather note in it, which just, it's an amber with a leather note in it, and it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It is what I want. It is what I want. What did you like about the new Creed? What new Creed? I didn't like anything. I haven't smelled the new Creed. I'm going to, though. I think I'm going to buy a sample of Gregory Boy. RXL Baytime Fragrance Influencer says, if you weren't impressed by those LV fragrances, you should try the Maison Alhambra clones of them. Influencers swear they smell exactly the same as their $400 counterparts. We believe them, right? Of course! We cannot cast aspersions on their spotless reputations, as they do it for the love and the passion of fragrance. They would never lead us astray, especially not for something as trivial as money. Good grief. What are you trying to say? How dare you, sir? That's outrageous. Excuse me whilst I pour some water. I need a drink after that. Pardon me. Costume National Pour Homme is so good, yes. Ah, crud. Just bought a 100ml bottle of Beau de Jour. It's in the sales section on Sephora.com. Boo! I don't like the signature version. They definitely cheapened it. They took out the quality patchouli. The patchouli is what makes it, actually. Very lovely. Oh God, that private blend version is absolutely incredible. That is when you are actually wanting to dress up and go out. None of this whatever it is that other people are saying. That Beau de Jour, because it's got this shiny, polished lavender patchouli thing going on, and it's got the rosemary at the top, which gives it a little bit of, I'm going to say oiliness, but it gives it this slickness. I'm not going to say oiliness. It gives it a slickness, a sheen, and it makes it look like, you know, when you've polished something really well, like French polishing, it looks like 3D. It looks like you're looking down into it. You know, it gives like a 2D surface, a 3D quality. That's kind of what the rosemary does with that fragrance. Excuse me whilst I hydrate in a sloppy fashion. Brother, ain't nobody interested in even searching for dupes. No, we are scared of dupes. Dupes are scary. Maybe one day I'll get some dupe samples. Dupe samples, not samples of dupe. Maybe one day I'll get some of those, and I will I will do first impressions upon them. I don't know if clone houses do. I don't know if clone houses do the what's it called? Sample sets. Sorry. By the way, the foils by Mas Milano aren't bad, but they're not available as the 50ml size. Idiots! These are 35s. These bottles here are 35. Not bloody awkward, that. Couldn't believe it when he died. That was very sad. He answered my question when he was on Persolays.com. Not Persolays.com, when he was on Persolays' YouTube channel. I was like, you can't be fucking charging morph and then, like, basically shrinkflation. They took the bottles from 100ml, right? And then they took the bottles from 100ml, shrank them down to 35, and put the price, was it up, or did they keep it the same? Anyway, I said to him, I was like, that's a bit outrageous, isn't it, really? Let's be honest. And to be fair to Persolays, he read the question out. And to be fair to the guy, he answered it. And his answer was, look, we haven't put our prices up in years. Years. He was like, we are literally just bringing these into line for where they should be. And I was like, well, I don't like the answer, but if it's the real answer and I've no reason to doubt you, then fair play. So, at least he answered it, and he was there to stick his neck out. He was there to be asked. James says $170 for the bottle now over here. Eesh. Yeah, it's not that cheap anymore. 250 Canadian with taxes. $120 when it was released, says James. Aye. Are we talking about the Legend de Medibula? No dupes. Fuck dupes. Yeah, I would never buy a dupe. What's the best silver stem dupe? Anyone, says Bob. Probably the 2011 version, to be honest. Still good value compared to a lot of stuff on the market right now, says Pirelli. Oftenlick says, I have an official sample of Al Haramain Aqua Dubai, which is supposedly an imagination clone. It smells of discounter pear gummy bears and window cleaner. Scrubber. Yeah, I imagine all clones. If I ever get samples of anything like that, I think I would do them outside, like, you know. I think I would spray them outside. I don't think I'd want them, like, in my house, because those LVs, right, you don't realise when you're doing them at the time, but the room stank, you know. The room absolutely fucking stank, like, so. Wow. I trust anyone that cares about what position my balls are in, says James. Receiving my Legend de Medibula Discovery set. What should I look forward to testing most besides Vinay Havan? Rose de Jamal, Oriental Velour, Musc de Sable, Ambra Supreme, there's a lot. All of them, really. Cooling down enough to where I can break out my fall fragrances soon. Best time of year is almost here. I am looking forward to it, friends. I am looking forward to it. Thank God it has finally come back to us. I sampled the new Creed Oud Zarian. Lovely blending, but I've just never cared for licorice. Ooh, it's got licorice in it. Spaced Out says, Joyamine put out an Aqua Dubai in top 10 must-own fragrances for every collector. Oh, well, I don't know. It's hard to criticise Joy. He's put a lot of effort in. I think he's now looking to capitalise on said effort, because he did it for nothing for a long time because people from Bangladesh couldn't get monetised. How close is Beau de Jour to Zeno by Davidoff? Beau de Jour is clear, especially the private blend version. Yeah, the private blend version is you can tell that it's just much more expensive and a lot better quality ingredients and stuff like that. So I don't think that you're going to you're gonna get the same experience, but you can tell they're related. Everyone's talking about dupes now. It's a survival thing for influencer channels. Let them. Let them. It will eat them alive. It will consume them. And I also think as well that YouTube's on its arse. It's being eaten alive by TikTok and Kick as far as live streaming's concerned, Twitch. Oh, don't. There we go. RXL says, I'd rather dumpster dive behind a Chanel boutique than wear some of the cheap clone trash that YouTube pushes. Yes. I think I'd just go without. I'd rather not smell of anything. Just start wearing Encre Noirs, you know. Just get some Encre Noir in. Less than £100. 3 fragrances. Brilliant. Get them off discounters. Discounters aren't anything like what they used to be though. You know? Discounters, they're not as... I remember when you could get Tom Ford and Chanel on discounters, man. It was mental. That was like 10 years ago. I remember when I bought my Green Irish Tweed. I got a Green Irish Tweed and a backup for under £300. And it was like £290. Doing first impressions on clones would be straight comedy. Yeah, that's kind of what I wouldn't... the thing is, I don't want these companies to have me addressed because I slate them like fuck. Yeah, let's get the curly girls fragrance samples. Ew, I don't want to do that. The old duping ombre nomad classless shits. I thought that Orage was quite nice actually. I thought Orage was quite nice. Zeno's darker, more syrupy take on that scent profile, but yours more effervescent and herbal. Often licked says I got Long Vault EDT from my discounter. It was a 2017 batch, says Often licked. Brody will be extremely excited to hear that. Sadly, it's where the money is now, and that's why they are shelling it. Everything is business. Yes, everything is business. Everybody's living in everyone is living in some kind of echo chamber where it's basically for kids, and that's why everybody's moving over to TikTok. That's where the audiences are, and that's where the money is. You can make some serious money on TikTok. YouTube kind of feels like yesterday's hero, you know. And it's tough, you know. They're struggling to. I think they're struggling to keep up, if I'm being honest. But this is my platform. I much prefer streaming on here like this. I prefer the age bracket which I attract. I'm not gonna reach out and try and like. I'm not gonna try and like be an influencer and do all that kind of thing, you know. I just I'd like to grow this community slowly. Grow the channel. I say community. Community's becoming a weird word, isn't it? I'd like to grow nice and slowly, attract the right people who are going to stay around, talk about the same fragrances or talk about fragrances in the same way. You know, people who are actually interested in them because they're good and not because of what is going to happen with them, as in, like, if you wear X, then Y is going to happen. I just like the way they smell, but I think YouTube might be a bit of a dead duck, when it comes to influencers and making money. If you want the truth. For a good time, ADP is my personal favourite, says James. I think Alessandro said that with the old pricing, they were operating at a loss so that the finances are public, so People could check. Rich, is your LV Orange bottle on the way? No. I need to put it on skin, which I haven't done yet. Eloise's lying. And also, hello. I wore it, says often. It is very strong. I think the EDP might be too sweet heavy for me, but I'm curious. That's lovely. The EDP was the original. Imagination has a boring 2-minute opening, which is followed by a wallop of Ambrox and a bunch of musks. Yeah, that sounds about right. Some say the new samples of Vanilla Van is weak. Crazy to think that scent is weak, but I don't know. I'm not having that. I'd be very surprised. Ambra Supreme, Iris Pearl. Yes, Iris Pearl. No, not Iris Pearl. Not for me. I am behind in the chat. Jesus. Often that's exactly where I'm at. The EDT is just right. Oh, the parfum is great. Parfum's not. I don't like the parfum of it. I like the eau de parfum. You bought an LV, says Bob? No, I didn't. Stop spreading filth, Jared. People have said that the new Zarian is like Amouage Outlands with licorice. Cecile just giving people what they want, I guess. Well, I mean, it's kind of happened always, really, hasn't it? James, I could see where in the other concentrations in winter. Do you also get some aromatic green herbs and perhaps lavender? It's got lavender in, I'm sure it has. Bobby Chanel is better than Bobby Dior, says Duchamp. Creed used to have this classy gentleman aesthetic that I love. Now they sold out and changed what they were all about, says Spaced Out. Yes, they've completely abandoned that, what made them famous, really. Xeno is like the trailer for Baudelaire, the full-length movie, says Cole. I quite like that, actually. What do you think about the future of perfume will be? Will Gen Z destroy this field altogether? There is a school of thought that says it's actually dead already, and you're kind of just looking at, how trees can be dead but still standing. It's kind of like where we are. The business is just like, so the actual business of fragrance is growing all the time. The amount of money that is being spent on fragrances is at an all-time high, and yet the fragrances themselves are worse. Classic perfume is on its arse, and we are heading into a future of things like the Louis Vuitton range clones, Ambrox bombs, Amber Woods, Amber Fix, all that sort of thing. Shit, basically. We're in a bad way. There are very few brands that you have to really, really look hard. It's no strange thing that I've sold a lot more perfume than I've bought, and I have not been buying much. If you look on the channel, a lot of videos used to be unboxings, and now there's hardly any. I think that Le Passant was the last fragrance I bought. What do you think of the future? Sorry, I've read that. I'm the type of person where a 10ml decant can last me at least half a year. I don't need to ever buy retail price bottles, says Spaced Out. Often like to say, my discounter has 100ml GIT for €185. No modern one, unfortunately, says Often. It's not vintage. Often definitely get a nice lavender. It's perfect springtime perfume, says James. Bob says YouTube on its ass, eh? High time, I say. Well, it's been coming. People just walk in LV and ask what's the most expensive thing there and buy that. Yes, that shows the level to which these people exist. It shows where their brains are at. We don't live in a meritocratic society. We live in whatever it is that we live in. Orage is a clean vetiver scent, right? I remember my sample of it a little. I don't know that it's that. I got quite a bit of soft, powdery, warm iris. It's a bit of sweetness as well. It's quite strange. I knew I wasn't hallucinating, says Often. Evening all, welcome Tim. Really low volume, by the way. Is it? You're the first person to mention that. Is it not your volume? Turn it up. Spaced Out says, Rich, sorry to get dark, but did you see what happened? Yes, I did. Absolutely disgusting. And the French authorities came out and said that he wasn't murdered. He was absolutely fucking murdered. Those people killed that man. And it's a fucking disgrace. And that shit needs to be that shit needs to be done. And frankly, Kick could be on the hook for it as well, because they absolutely knew what was going on. Could be corporate manslaughter. That's what you would get in the UK. The fact that they did nothing to protect that bloke. It's the type of society we live in now. It's the same thing that the type of thing that is the internet is. It's dehumanizing people. You know, people aren't treating other people as people. They're treating them as objects. And it's the type of shit, if you look into the psychology of what the Second World War, what happened during the Second World War, let's say, it's the type of shit, that thinking, that line of thinking, it's in that realm. And obviously it's not like this kind of like nationwide fucking thing, but it's on an individual basis. The individual person thinking, just completely abdicating their responsibility towards other people, you know, towards themselves as well, you know. Like, these people are just like, instantly, what was the big excuse that they came out with in 1945? Was just following orders, you know. Watch these streamers just say, well, we're doing it for content. We didn't know. He agreed to it. He said it was fine. Fucking, we were just following the money, the content, the clicks. People were watching, and people were watching. Just like people knew what was going on then. It is a bit of a leap to make that, but there's definite sort of psychological parallels there. People are weird. It's like that, you ever heard of that experiment where somebody gives an electric shock to somebody else in another room? And the first few times they give the electric shock, like they hear like a shouting and a screaming, somebody saying, please stop. And then like the person giving the shock is like pressing the button to give the electric shock, looks at the person who's telling them to do it. And all the person who's telling them to do it says, the experiment says that you must keep electrocuting them. And is it something like 90 or 95%? A large, overwhelming majority of people just keep shocking the person until they stop responding. Mental. And it just shows you what normal people are capable of. You know, it's not always psychopaths. LV scents are great, but after smelling Ombre Nomad for the 10,000th time outside drives me madder than a rabid pit bull. Yes, I'm sick of smelling certain things. Amber woods, that's all I can smell. I sprayed that vintage white of Portugal last night, and my God, is it good. Yes, it is absolutely phenomenal. Bobby, you should get an LV, says Paroli. Doug, you tried L'Envol Parfum? Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with the EDT. I think mine's the EDP. Mine's the original one that came out. I actually never smelled Ombre Nomad. Still don't know how it smells, says Spaced Out. How lucky you are. Girl on Heritage versus Beau de Jour. And go. I'd go with Beau de Jour, actually. Heritage is great, but I would go with Beau de Jour, if you want the truth. Like the stream, friends. Please like the stream. I'm going to go and get some water to refill my cup, because the bottle I was using is empty. Oh, good grief, good gracious. Goodness gracious me. Oh. What we got? Yeah, hopefully those fucking streamers go to jail for a long time, like, you know. Where are we? Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to try and catch up with the chat. White of Portugal and Royal Oud are the only creeds that smell good still, as far as from Frederick Marl and the like. I smelled Royal Oud, actually. I do think it still smells alright. I didn't put it on, but the top seemed really good. Which under 50 euro fragrances do you enjoy? The Encre Noirs. I mean, under 50 euros, you don't get a lot for under 50 euros now. You know, you're not getting a lot for under 50 euros now. I would go with the Encre Noirs. I actually swore Essentia by Loewe this week, and that, fucking hell, that is fantastic. I might have to get a back up of this. It's this. Awesome. Did anyone see the new Jeremy Fragrance documentary? It was good, but no talk of fragrance at all. Of course not. I'm surprised you expected talk of fragrance. Jordan Albro says, in terms of business of fragrance, so many brands, designers, and niche are run by corporations. Yeah, there's no plurality. All the brands used to be owned individually, and now they're not. It's a clusterfuck. And by LV perfumes is 10ml decants. That's enough, says Duchamp. Dallas says, I don't think Gen Z does out fragrance industry. You and code a lot of Americans got stimulus checks, and I know for a fact I spent all of it on fragrances. Other people might have done the same, says Dallas. Maybe. But it's the youth. The youth set the trends because they're the long-term investment. They need to make profit, but not just that. Ever-increasing profit quarter after quarter. Margins and expenses must always get thinner. Yes, that's another huge problem. That's another massive problem. You know, they have to. It's not only that they have to make a profit; they have to keep increasing the profit, which means the quality has to go down. Nick S says, which fragrance is your most worn at the minute, Rich? Hard to say. You will be finding out in a few weeks, though, when I do my spring and summer list. I actually don't have a clue, if I'm being honest. The really sad thing is that people often lack any in real life friends nowadays to give them a sense of perspective on what's happening online. You're absolutely right. That's absolutely true. There are a lot of lonely people in the world, you know, and there's a lot of vulnerable people in the world as well. Absolutely, that's a crazy experiment. Yes, it is. Stanford prison experiment, says Tim. And it's always like people who are like generally normal as well. Not like some raving lunatic doing it and like cackling while they do it as well. Heritage, says Nick. I like Acro's East more than Ombre Nomad. Feels like it just has better material as well. Getting to the point of the scent profile really well. Not that much depth though. There's a lot of that goes on in those Acros. They're not the deepest of fragrances. He drinks from a well, says Christina. Tasty water. People are animals. This is why we're all being turned into batteries, says Bobby. People are animals. People like to think of themselves as separate from the animal kingdom, but we're not really. I just messaged someone about a 10ml Hemingway, says often late. But animals are cute. We aren't, says Christina. That's also true. We're just batteries. Oh no. A nice smelling battery in your case. Yes, that's right. That's right, Bob. At least we smell nice. Strange, though, that a lot of us want to smell animalic. How unusual. It sounds great. That's an almost full 10ml vial for €22. I might pick that up if it includes shipments, is often like. Welcome, Nino Slav. You are wearing Fahrenheit Absolute. Oh, I've got to the end of the chat. Raving lunatics are in politics. Yes. Well, we haven't recovered from the Great Recession in 2008. The economy is not growing for normal people. It is only growing at the very top. We will reach Victorian levels of disparity and there will be revolution if we are not careful. Animals tend to be way more decent than people. No, I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that people think that they're not capable of stuff that animals are, you know. Smelling a bit animalic keeps you grounded, reminds you of your roots, says Nick. Smelling like a monkey. I could smell of monkey. Macaque by a zoologist. Smell of macaque. Has anybody smelled any of the new Sultan Pasha fragrances? I have a bit of a horror story. And this isn't the shit on Sultan Pasha, but I might be about to take a shit on Sultan Pasha. So my friend has bought a Sultan Pasha fragrance, blind, and it got shipped out, and it was extremely expensive, and he wanted £50, mark you, pounds for the shipping. All right, that's a lot of money for shipping because they're coming from Sweden for some reason. And he was like, fuck me, these are expensive, and fuck me, that shipping's expensive. And he, today, I got a message off my friend again. I'm fucking fuming, and he's not a fuming type. He's not a fuming type, to be fair, but he was fucking fuming. And he said, you'll never guess what's just happened. I've been sent a £62 fucking tax bill. That's 112 quid on top of the fragrance just to get it into his hand. Just to get it into his hand. He contacted Sultan Pasha and said, I thought I was paying tax on the fucking, at the till. What the fuck? Sultan Pasha turned around and said, I'm very sorry, I'll pay it. But yes, Sultan Pasha's admitted to it being a complete clusterfuck at the minute. And it's like, well, should you not have sorted these things out before you went live? You know? Fuck. Come on now. Do you think the bigger fragrance houses will go back to making art? No. They'll go back to what smells, to what sells. Jared says, Rich, you still have more LVs to sample, right? You haven't even tried the most popular ones. Yeah, I've still got another 6. I have got L'Immensité and I have got Imagination, so we will be doing those. Ace of Souls says, fragrances that when worn, the expectation for positive feedback were instead unexpectedly met with negative looks and feedback. Possibly, yes. Take a shit and show no mercy, Rich, says Nick. Not known for my merciful grunts, I won't lie to you. You would think he's shipping from America. Considering he's in Britain, British, and has never shipped from Sweden before, to my knowledge, what the fuck's he doing? You know what I mean? I'm very much enjoying Guerlain Homme Herboisé 2014 bottle, but looks and smells from another age. Yes, that was before Guerlain fell up its own arse, to be fair. They're coming from Sweden, then why didn't I have to pay that shipping? It's a fucking good question, mate. Well, they are good, but the shipping stuff sucks. At least he did pick up the tab on that import tax bill. Yeah, but it shouldn't have happened, though. You know what I mean? Yes. But how much has that eaten into his fucking... I mean, my mate was fuming, and he was dealing with that Puente guy before as well, and that Puente guy fucked him about as well. Like, he took loads of money off people, that Puente guy, and then started crying mental health. Oh, my mental health's on its arse. I can't ship things out. And my mental health's on its arse. I can't do this. Well, fair enough. You know what I mean? I'm all about, like, the fucking recognizing that you can't be too... I mean, look, the state I'm in, my fucking health shit as fuck. And sometimes I feel mental, but I don't take money off people and then not deliver the fucking service. Like, you should have, if you know your mental health wonky, and that something could happen to you that would prevent you from being able to fulfill your fucking obligations to people. You can't take money off people and not do what you said you were going to do. You know? It's just ruinous. It's bad all round. No good has ever come from taking money from people and then not doing what you said you were going to do to gain said money. So Puente's pissed loads of people off. It's the same person. My mate lives in England. Same person. Fuming the way. I got contacted by that Puente. Can we send you some stuff? I was like, no. I appreciate it, but no. Apparently the iris is nice, but I wouldn't know. Carly, you're jealous of your money, says Dushan. Which Guerlain is your favourite, Rich? That is not an easy question to answer. That is not an easy question to answer. I probably have to have them all set out in front of us. I'm really liking Frenchy Lavande at the minute, but I wouldn't say it was my favourite. What's my favourite girl on? I've had loads of girl on as well. Could be Derby. Could be Derby. Tough question, that though. Reminds me when I had to pay $150 of duties on Corda Oud. Ugh. Have you found Ebony de Balmain to be a hard wear, Mitch? Yes. I think I sold it. I think mine might be Après L'Ondio de Toilette, says Nick. I don't like those vintage feminine ones. I just don't like them. I'm just not my thing, if I'm being honest. Mental health for shipping packages. Yeah, he cried off sending the packages out, claiming mental health. And people have always had mental health, and people have always fucking suffered, and I don't doubt the realness and the fucking the pain and misery that mental health problems can cause, but fucking those people didn't take your money off you and then fucking not do what they said they were gonna do. You know? It's wrong. I don't know if we'll be able to go the full 2 hours tonight, friends, because I'm on the other phone. And the battery is draining at a terrifying rate. So, yikes. But please like the stream. Please like the stream. It'll do when he gets around to smelling that Balmain sample set. Oh, is that the new one? I was talking about the old one, sorry. Welcome, John. How's Jonathan? I think Vetiver is definitely... Yes, that's a good shout. Do you know, I was staring at it as well, and I just... My brain's not working. Yeah, it could be the Vetiver, to be fair. Has anyone tried Rance 1795, says Dallas. Could it be Lidge? Could be Lidge. Great fragrance. Ensemble Mythique. Welcome, Mitra. Paroli says Ensemble Mythique, Vetiver, Derby, Songe, and Boisdet are my favourites. What's mental health, says Mitra. The Puente guy was claiming mental health when he was supposed to be sending people's parcels out. I had a mate in Britain who was like, I've sent you hundreds of pounds. Send me my parcel. And he was like, oh, sorry, I've got the mental health. First scent of the fall rotation will be Ensemble Mythique. I'm calling it. No, it won't. It'll be Tobacco Oud, as it always is, on the 1st of September, come hell or high water. Duck has multiple phones. Well, I've kept the old one because it's still... I'd stream off the old one, and I thought, is the old one the reason that the fucking streams are funny, like, you know, like the streams are funny shape? You know, is it like the stream, the proportions out of whack? No, it's not. It's YouTube being an absolute shithouse. Yes, I'm something to think might be my number one at the moment. It's the last great girl on, to be fair. Did you find anything good sampling stuff today, says Often Elect? Sheep Palatine for Mitra, says Dushan. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, feel free to super chat if you would like to, friends. I shall not shout and say evil things to you. I will not hold it against you, but please also like the stream. I'm asking a lot of you people today, aren't I? Jesus. I tried 1899 Histoire de Parfum and ended up with a bottle, says Mitra. Could it be Spiritus Double Vanille? No, I'm not a Spiritus Double Vanille fan at all. Spicy, says Often Light. HDP is a good house still. Still haven't got their bloody sample set back in, though. Shithouses. Oh, Delis. Thank you, Delis. I appreciate it greatly. $2 US. Bring a Scallon Indonesia to the front. Okay. There it is. Wore this recently as well. Fantastic. Fantastic and doing really well. YouTube is trying to force you to do tilted upright lives. Yes. That's what it's trying to force us. That's exactly what it's trying to force us to do. The bastards. Ooh, says Mitra. Al Hansen says, I have rants 1795. Le Aigle de la Victoire. Stinky Uden leather. A cousin to Dio's leather rude. I prefer the rants. Love it. Rants is an interesting name. It's an interesting word. I don't know why. It kind of tickles us. I fucking love original Samsara Parfum, says Nick. At the right time of year, I can feel like the most comforting and impressive fragrance I've ever encountered. Every note in perfect balance. It is very, very good. It is very, very good. Is the old Samsara. The EDP was fantastic. I didn't care for the EDT. I ended up selling the EDPs as well because they were just a little bit too femme. That jasmine ylang ylang thing kind of stopped the sandalwood from being so. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Stopped it being what I wanted it to be. Often Licked says rancid, you say. I could say it, but I didn't. Oh, I liked Pure Distance 1, says Mitra. I love 1825 by Histoires de Parfum Jules Verne. I need a sample, says Mitra. Dallas says, Alan, I should give it a look. I don't think they sell the one you have. Immasterful Desktop says, I saw Horsey on the thumbnail and I feel conned. Well, let me unfuck that for you immediately. Give me one moment, please. Give me one moment, please. How do you like them apples? The horse is dressed as a zebra, by the way. Fucking mental shit. There's a horse dressed as a zebra down the road from my house. Mental. HDP Love coming out, says Tim. Where is Pradeep, says Carl. Pradeep, who knows where Pradeep is? Does Pradeep know where Pradeep is? Who knows? Not Pradeep. A masterful desktop. I hope you feel better. That one's for you, mate. Carl, you should know of all of us, says Mitra. A Zorse? A Hebra? Good point. I'd say it was more of a Hebra, really. Zorse. Sounds like some kind of god, you know. The god of Zorse. Brody Damali will appear if we mention horses. Loving my little paddock sample. Thanks to Eugene. But no bottles here in the US, says Eloise. There are, in fact, I might be able to sort you out with a bottle, Eloise. I might be able to help you find a bottle because I actually got a message off my friend today and it said, Rich, do you know if anybody's looking for a bottle of... paddock? And I was like, well, honestly, not really. To be honest, no, nobody's mentioned it for a while. So, Eloise, I will put my email in the chat. Please grab that email, screenshot it or something, and let me know when you have, because I'll take it down. I don't want strangers, even more strangers, contacting us. And then email us, and I will sort you out. I will put you in touch. Hopefully the guy will still ship to America. Got it? Okay. It's not a hard email to remember, to be fair. But yes, email us after the show and I will sort you out, because he's looking to sell one, you're looking to buy one. Where there's a will, there's a way. I absolutely trust him. I'd bet my life on him. He's a really good lad. Loving my little paddock sample. Oh, sorry. Jared says, Rich, do you have a backup of Beau de Jour? No, but I don't need one because I've got 250ml decanter. Thank God. Hi, Eloise. Yes. Sold my extra, says Mitra. It hasn't been selling. Apparently, it's still in the Paris boutique. But they won't ship it to you because they're bastards. You know. Apparently, the French postal system will now discontinue parcels sent to America. Fortunately, the person I know isn't in America, isn't in France, so. But they're just going to stop sending parcels to America until the tariff stuff's all fucking, well, either gone or whatever, you know. Nick says, I found the ED2 too feminine exactly because of that prominent jasmine. Rich says, Nick, it gave too much softness what I actually love is that deep, rich woodiness from the Mysore. Yes. Rich is such a salesman, says Carl. All you've got to do to sell things is just make it easy for people to buy them. You know? Just to sell things, you've just got to make it easy. But a lot of people can't manage that because it takes work. Oh no, we can't have that. Work? Good grief. Like there's a shop down the road. It's a garage, like a fuel like a fuel garage, and they can't get the staff. They literally can't get the staff, and yet there are loads of people who don't have money, who don't have a job. They can't get the staff. And they were like saying to me, they were like, oh, like, do you not want a job? I was like, mate, if you can fix rheumatoid arthritis, I'll come and work for free. Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't stand for fucking 8.5 hours a day. I can't sit for that long, man. I'm knackered when I do fucking 2-hour streams on the internet, man. Mental. But like the youth, they're just like, why do I want to work in a garage? I want to be an influencer in Dubai. I want to do what fucking people on the internet do. And they don't realise that the shit they see on Facebook and Instagram and fucking TikTok, it's all like literal snippets. It's like a flash, a moment in time. And then the rest of the time they're actually having to live their real life. Signed you up to the Roger newsletter, says Dallas. Spam, horrible spam. Mitra says, I signed him up for the Playboy magazine. Not spam, never spam. Good stuff. Signed you up for the Zerzhov newsletter. Blocked, reported for terrorism. Fucking be gone. Parcels from France won't go to the US. Sounds like a business opportunity for Canadians. Possibly. I want to be a hero. I need a hero. Pat Lester says, currently wearing a Scala in Haiti, yet it's not included on the main stage. Shame. A Scala in Haiti? Well, Delis sent money for us to put a Scala in Indonesia there, and that's the only reason it's there, so. Hemingway is there because it's my scent of the day, and I have taken to putting my scent of the day on screen when I stream. And Paddock is there because somebody felt cheated by the lack of a horse. And who hasn't felt cheated by the lack of a horse at some point in their life? You know? I received a discovery set from Parfum d'Empire. They're from France, says Dallas. Yeah, this is a thing that I actually got today. So, um, so I'll read it in a minute if you give us a second. Thank you, Dushan. Dushan has sent 9 super chats. Good grief. Thank you, mate. That is very kind. I want to be retired, says Misha. I want to be an influencer and live with Jeremy Fragrance, says Carl. Yeesh. It's not a price worth paying, that. Like, you can keep that shit, hold it. Roger is a seller and a nice storyteller, but not a perfumer for the educated consumer, says Dushan. Almost a haiku. 10 years until I retire, says Dallas. I cannot wait. Red Dead Dad is here. Sometimes I think I'm the only one that likes candy corn. I don't know what that is. That sounds like some American outrage. Quack. I did say I would quack if I got 10 super chats. So there's the quack. I'm a man of my word. How will I celebrate if I get a new goal? I will moo. Want to hear Rich Mitch moo? Where are we? Quack, says Dushan. Wait, you don't know Candy Corn? I know Candy Crush. That was a good quack. Well, I'm a duck. Come on now. Scallon Haiti is whispering in the background, pick me, Rich, pick me, Rich, pick me. I wear a Scallon Indonesia. No, I wear a Scallon Haiti, sorry. I've actually got a backup, would you believe? I really like it. It's really, really nice. It's really nice. It's great fragrance, this. As is the Indonesia. The Indonesia is for the highest of high heat, though, because it's got that lemon bergamot sour citrus sharpness, which just cuts through that filth, that horrible, horrible heat that is just despicable, you know? The greenness of the Haiti is lovely. Really nice, clean, smooth, like clean, smooth, light vetiver in the base as well. I think I'm having a bit of a moment with vetiver. I'm coming round to it. That Hemingway today was absolutely lovely. I'm going to go and look and see if I can find 100 ml. See if I can get an older bottle, because this is from well before the Lilial reformulations came out. So I do like that. The more I'm smelling that, the more I'm liking it. That might get some wears in the autumn, that. Pat, if you want it there, you gotta send the super chat, says Dallas. I would feel bad if I put the Indonesia, if I put the Haiti up after I took money to put the Indonesia up. Juniper in Haiti is fucking beautiful. Indeed, yes, it's very green. I like juniper. Juniper's good. I like the juniper in Lord for Men as well. Haiti is a sexy vetiver. I'm actually terrified of sampling Les Indomables, says Nick. Why? Don't be terrified. Roch. Roch is a horsey thing. Probably will probably magically appear now. Now you said Roch. If I sell all my other vetiver fragrances, then I'll buy Haiti, says Dallas. Strange, why? I must go and dehydrate, friends. I'll be back in a minute. Oof. Oh. Don't get rheumatoid arthritis. Jesus. Oh. score. What? Oh. A Chelsea wedding. Jesus, pulling teeth. Oh dear. I've got a dry throat. Probably because I've been talking for an hour. Woof. Friends, please like the stream. Please like the stream. Like the stream. Tasty water. Okay, where are we? Let's see what the people have to say. Oh no. I've dropped a bollock. If I sell my other vetiver fragrances, then I'll buy Haiti. Didn't like Rock at all, says Paroli. I thought it smelled mushroomy. I suspect I'll end up loving too many of them based on Mooster Solar. Don't buy Haiti Girl on Vetiver is better, says Tool. I've got the vintage Girl on Vetiver and I'm very happy to have them as well. Rock was disgusting, says Mitra. Mushrooms I got from it. Mushroom. And really, where is Pradeep? He might be at work. He might be asleep. He might be lurking in the background, soaking in all the attention he's getting, even though he's not here. We just don't know. Legend of Madabla sample set as an experience in the best way. It's like smelling Frederick Mall for the first time, says Dallas. It's really good, but yeah, it will probably cost you some money, to be fair. Rock and roll. I like that. Candy Corn by Wicked Good Perfume. Wicked Good Perfume, says Red Dead Dad. I've never heard of it. So, Laura G, anyone in the Discord will have saw that Laura G has found her pumpkin spice fragrance at last. At long last, she has found the perfume she wanted, and then today, on the train to work, she got a compliment. Outrageous. I suspect I might like them even over the mall stuff, says Nick. More expensive, but with better ingredients. Yes. Excuse me. Candy corn, fall fragrance, Halloween scent, eau de perfume, perfume oil. Rich, how's that Jean Patou Lacoste? Few words, please, says Black Monday. It's good. It's good. It's got that sandalwoody. It's got a little bit of greenness. It's got some sandalwood. It's got a bit of. Do I want to say pine? I think I do want to say pine. It smells like short shorts from the 70s. It smells like wooden tennis rackets. It's good. It's very good. The performance is absolutely diabolical. Diabolical. About 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, but the actual fragrance itself is gorgeous. Oak mossy as well, just great, you know. $600 to smell like mushrooms for Rourke, says Paroli. Saab replay Andy, welcome, thank you. Super happy to see and hear you. Super happy to see you as well, mate. Pradeep is at one of those Serge Luton influencer dinners trying to get that horsey oud one for free. Yes, that is what Pradeep's doing. Serge Luton's been throwing dinners for influencers. The brand has, not the person. The person wouldn't mingle with such fucking riffraff. I forgot those new Serge existed. I forgot Serge Luton existed, to be fair. I wish they'd go back to the old bottles. Such a great brand until about 10 years ago. Yeah, I think it was about 2016. I think it was about 2016 when the rebranded, you know. And those old bottles, they just fucking up and went like a fart in the wind, you know. Just overnight, you just couldn't get them anymore. Even on like even second hand and stuff like that, because you used to be able to get them on discounters. I do have a healthy backup system of them. Bring Indonesia closer to Hemingway. You pervert, Dallas, but all right. Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I found the original Patu Lacoste extremely meh. Haven't tried the flanker. Yeah, I've heard horror stories about the original one, in that it was like you're lucky to get an hour. Like the performance, strangely, the original has worse performance than the Sport, which is hardly ever the case. But yes, apparently that is true. Um, but I really like the smell. I really like the smell. There just hasn't been that. It's been a really weird summer this year. We've had like 4 heat waves, right? But that's the only heat we've had at all. The rest of it's just been like fucking essentially like the beginning of autumn. Really strange. Really, really, really strange. Not that much rain either. You know, there's been some blasts, but there's not been hefty wet, as I would say. Antonio H, welcome. How do you feel about Balenciaga Ho Hang Club? Brilliant. Got it because of Ramsey. Got it because of Ramsey because he said it was a beautiful rose. I get black tie gothic vibes, but the 80s piss smell in it is annoying. I'm 23, by the way. Well, thank you. Welcome for coming. It does have a funk. It does have that kind of. You're right. It is gothic, um, and it does have something juxtaposed in the. I find that kind of that animalic, slightly pissy sort of thing actually lingers in the patchouli. So the patchouli is very, like you say, the patchouli is very gothic, and the rose is quite dark. It's almost like a black rose, like a really scarlet, dark kind of rose thing. And the piss lurks like between those two notes. Very thing. I wouldn't say it was overly pissy, but my reference might be different from yours because some I've got a couple of really pissy fragrances. Like I still love it. Give it time is what I would say to you. I really do like that Ho Han Club though. It's fantastic. It's a bit like Antaeus. It's a bit like Antaeus, but Antaeus is Antaeus. You know, it's Antaeus. I smelled it in the shop the other day. I was saying to them, I was like, "Do you still sell Antaeus?" They were like, "Do you know, not very much, but it's actually selling better now than it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago." What's up in Berkeley, says Dushan. Lewd. Very lewd. Welcome, Frank. How's Frank? Hello to the best smelling folks ever. Pacaraban Tanier on this Friday afternoon. Are you enjoying it? Short shorts. Yes, breezy short shorts. Some food dyes used in candy corn are only legal in America. Can't get it in the UK, Ireland. I'm going to say something which may outrage some Americans, but the food standards in America are pretty diabolical in that there aren't as many as there could be. They really should outlaw more of the shit that goes into the fucking food chain over there, if I'm being honest. It's one of the things that holds back trade deals. It's something that we scream about, like the public over here scream about it when there's talk of trade deals because they're like, oh, they want to import chlorinated chicken. And it's like, you don't have to buy it though, but at the same time, don't even what there would be some people who would. Chicken in a tin, like, but I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So I should move to Newcastle. I hate the heat, says Dallas. Mate, honestly, it's one of the best places to come if you don't like the heat. England has been hot only where Rich lives with the polar bears. Has it been cold, says Tim. That's not true. Hello, brother Deuce, says Frank. I've had to pack in my citrus. I read that as clitoris for a second, sorry. Nick says, I've had to pack in my citrus aromatics to the brief heat wave periods and have hardly had the chance to use them for the rest of the summer. It's been mental. Yes, talk about Hohan Club so that I can sell my bottles, says Paroli. Paroli, what do you think of it? Hohan Club's fantastic. How pissy was Monte Cristo? I didn't get any piss from Monte Cristo. I got the smoke from Mano de Oreo's Queer. That was a big smoke, the same smoke, but then instead of leather, like a green leather sort of thing, I got tobacco, and it just sort of jarred when I was used to yeah. Hawaiian Club is similar to Antares. Yes, it is, that's right. Rich, if you ever move to the US, I would recommend moving to Washington State. Is it wet? That would be my natural habitat. If it was wet, that's where I would be, you know. And Tace is up there with Beau de Jour and Balenciaga Port. It's up. And Tace, yes. And Tace. All right, I'll allow it. I agree 100%, says Red Dead Dad. Happy days, thank God. I was fearing an international incident. Hohan Club is underrated, says Jonathan. It is. Chlorinated and chicken should never be in the same sentence. Red Dead Dad says, I agree, yet I'm stuffing my face with it. They make it a dick. Yes, I do shit like that. Yeah, I stuff my face with shit that I shouldn't. I need to do more fucking exercise. I've actually been out and about a bit more recently. I'm suffering for it though. You know, no good deed goes unpunished sort of thing. I have Antaeus Vintage Cocoa EDP with the real civet. Mode Creation Munich Success, love it, with the 80s piss honey and tobacco. Also Bal of Versailles Parfum de Toilette. How do you like the Bal of Versailles? That's pissy. That is pissy, that shit. The Mode Creation Munich Success is also pissy as well. I really like that one actually. It's probably my favourite honey fragrance. I've got vintage cocoa too. That's good, but it's a little bit sweet. Tin chicken, yeah, buddy. Welcome, Eugene. Freudian slippage while reading, innit? That's right. That's right. I should stop that. Like the stream for Eugene, says Dushan. Thank you for the super chat. Dushan is a super chat hero. Jonathan says, my bottle says Le Club de Balenciaga instead of Hohan Club. Wonder if there's any difference. Nah, it was just a bottle thing. They just changed the name. I think it was maybe it's the difference between European and English-speaking world branding, you know. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I should get another bottle to compare, says Paroli. Yes, it rains all the time in Washington State. I'm a big fan of the rain. Washington State rains 280 days. Yeah, oh, God. We'll live out like that here. Washington State is wet. Wet and cold with a cool breeze. Oh, good grief. Antonio says, the thing about Hohan Club, the pissy smell mixed with the lemon and basil. I like the pissy smell mixed with more of the honey smell. I understand the charm of Hohan though, and taste is way more better. Yeah, it's the Chanel, DNA, the Chanel blend. It's the difference between Jacques Polge and whoever made Whoever made Hohan Club. Ooh, 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 the battery's not very happy. I'm not going to get to 2 hours here. Thank you for the super chat, says Eugene. Now it looks like Paddock is an outcast and the other two mean girls gossiping about its love life. Am I a degenerate if I particularly like Orage by LV, says Tyrone Lancaster? Not Orage. If there was another one, you would be, but not necessarily Orage. I don't hate that one. Rich, try kettlebell training at home. Start gently with low weights. I'd have to. I'm thinking about doing some kind of like Tai Chi or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I need to. Carnation is great, but not in fragrances. Carnation is pissy. Yeah, Carnation's it's a funny one. Bally masculine worth 200 to 300, or is it a pass? It's not worth 200 to 300, mate. I can tell you that right now. I've got it. I've got a chart. It's nice, but it's extremely hard to find, and it's not worth that kind of money. Yeah, it's not worth that kind of money. Sorry, don't pay that. It's very fresh, very lavendery, but it's never worth that kind of money at all. That's outrageous behaviour. Hey, Jay Smooth. I hope you are well. Are you going to try Lovers from LV? If I've got it, I will, yes. Oops, says often late. It rains a lot in Venezuela. I hear there's going to be some sort of set 2, some brouhaha in the old Venezuela. Interesting that he's not going into Colombia, where the drugs actually come from, but Venezuela, where the oil is. But I don't want this to be a political stream. It's just, it bears saying. Richie like 12 by Jean Couturier. It's all right. What would you compare it to, Rich? So the lavender's the lavender's a little bit like Le Troisième Homme, and then it's quite musky as well. So imagine the Troisième Homme, the lavender from that. It's a little bit powdery. It's good. It's very good, but it's not a great. Oh God, the chat. Hold up. I need a sample of Le Bleu. I'll reach out to my sample girly. It shits on Uncut Jen all the time, yet I love the fragrance. Yeah, wear what you like. I need a sample of Le Bleu. What's up, Jonathan? Any French dudes in the chat? Can anyone explain what escale means? Trip to. It means like a trip, a holiday. Thanks, mate. Doesn't sound like my sort of thing, says Nick. 12 is fantastic douche, and I have a few bottles on the aftershaves. I feel like Orage is heavily supported by forever molecules like Isoweed, Jovenol, and Ambros, but everything else in it is really nice. It just goes against how you've raised me, Rich. Well, I'm sorry about that, son, but don't hate yourself. By God, don't hate yourself. If you love something, then that's good for you. Don't hurt other people, and be good to yourself. If it's your money, you wear what you want. I really am going to fucking have to bail in a minute. Thanks, mate. Doesn't sound like something Red Dead did. Are you in Caracas? Antonio says, Balavasai is very powdery like most vintage French fragrances. Good for a bed scent. The civet in it isn't too much. I find it very classy. It is very classy, I'll give you that. It's a little bit too classy for me, if that makes sense. It reminds me of the colours purple, pink, and white. I get yellow from it. 12 is such a lovely pelargonium note. Take a Scala and Indonesia's cap off. You are a very, very seedy young man, sir. That is outrageous. There you go. For money, we'll do it. Hey, Tulip Paroli sisters and brothers, says Eugene. Antonio says also Michael Jackson. Yes, he did. That's right. He did. That is absolutely right. Black Orchid by Tom Ford is also a good signature scent. Yes, it is. Have you smelled the new one that's coming out? Monsieur Couturier is also very nice. It is. That is true. To the duck, the true king of the north, says James. Thank you, James. Naughty, says Tool. This is getting truly filthy. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. King of the north. I am very northern. By God, I'm nothing if not northern. And we finally reached 40 people. And I'm going to have to go because I've got about 5% battery left. This was always going to be a big ask because this phone has shit battery. So, anywho, next you'll be asked to spray the camera. I will not. That is not a good idea. And I'm off. Right. Sorry I couldn't finish. Hold on, let's try something actually. Let me try. No. Rich Mitch is live. No, I want to on. No, I can't do it. Oh well. Fuck it. I'm off. Thanks very much, everybody. Please like the stream. Eloise, if you're still there, send us an email and I will help. And I will see you all again soon. Good night, everyone.